Welcome, everybody, to the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell. I'm your host, Keagan Jewell, and here we are all about coming together one Monday at a time to reach our full potential. What that means, make sure you hit that subscribe button, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whichever one, hit subscribe. Every single Monday, you'll get a notification about our new episode coming out, which is all about kicking our Mondays off right, helping us grow closer, maybe further into our purpose, further into our calling, helping us figure out what our calling is, or just figuring out our purpose in life and helping encourage each other along the way through interviews, through different topics, whatever that is. Let's kick off Mondays the right way, in an encouraging way, with the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell, where we are coming together one Monday at a time to reach our full potential. Thank you guys again for checking out the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell. It means a ton, but as we kick this episode off, I just want to say, if you have been following us on YouTube or you're checking us out on YouTube for the first time, especially the first time, you won't know this is a big difference, but if you've been following, one, we're getting those episodes back up on YouTube. Two, if you follow our social media, or again with YouTube, you'll notice this difference. We have completely revamped what it looks like at the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell. If you haven't checked out our social media, go check it out. New colors, new logo, perfect timing for all this to happen because of today's topic. But shout out to my man, Brighton. He helped hook me up with all that, did really all the work. I just sat there, said yes or no, what I thought looked good. He did a ton of the work, really all of it a ton. I can't really take much credit. So shout out to him. But again, go check out that social media if you haven't, at Monday Motivation Podcast on Instagram. I am very impressed. I can't put into words how great those logos look. Thank you again, Brighton. But that being said, I really wanted to talk about some of the changes we've got real quick with the podcast. One, the new logo, the new colors. Two, again, if you've watched on YouTube or listened on YouTube, I should say, we would just throw up like the logo or the graphic for the podcast, the entire video. Realize for some people that's fine because they'll just sit there and listen to it. Others, I realize that sometimes you may not want to do that just because it seems boring, or it's boring to look at. It's hard for you to listen. Just listen. That's no more. We are completely changing that. If you check out the YouTube, that link is in the bio of the social media. I'll put it in the description of the podcast. But check it out. It is just, I recorded myself recording the podcast to make it a little bit more conversational style, maybe, or someone sitting there kind of getting you going. Hopefully it helps out some of you guys when it comes to the YouTube stuff. But also, I know it's been a long time since we've had an interview. But that being said, we do have some interviews coming up that we're hoping to get in very soon. Some may be ones that we've already had on the podcast, other ones that have been referenced or mentioned in episodes. We're finally getting them on the podcast. It's going to be really good. I'm really excited, and hopefully it's just going to make things better here and make things more enjoyable for all of us. So that being said, let's get into this week's episode, which is all about, as you guys can tell from the title, and like I said, perfect timing with all this stuff coming together with that. But who's around you? Who are you surrounding yourself with? That really, I know many of us have probably heard that you become who you hang out with, or, who you surround yourself with. That's how far you're going to go in life, which is so true. So true. Surrounding yourself with people that believe in you, that are going for your goal, that want you to succeed. That's big. That's huge. Like I said, shout out to my man Brighton for helping me really doing the work for those logos. Can't ask him. I can't just express enough how much that means, but that's exactly that. I FaceTimed him, went to ask him a question. He ends up taking it. He had a website ready to go, did it, started working with it. And like I said, I literally sat there and said yes or no. That's just a perfect timing. Having someone that believes in you and having someone that is willing to say, really, without you needing to ask, which, yes, asking people is nice and getting asked to help is nice, but having people that I literally was like, hey, what's the website used for this one graphic thing? He's like, oh, this, and hopped right on his laptop and started doing it. Having those kind of people make striving towards your calling, towards your purpose, doing things that you dream about, so much easier. You know, he knows I got his back. I know he's got my back. But surrounding yourself with people that you can talk to, and share your dreams with, as we've talked about before, only having a select few that you share your dreams with, but having those people that are surrounding you that you share those with, be people that are believing in you, that are building you towards that. People that want to see you succeed. Those are the people that you should want to have in life. And so really what this comes down to is, one, taking a look at your inner circle. Who do you have around you? I think of, you know, a big thing we talk about, or a big thing I think of when I go circle of people around, you know, obviously just because my mind and my heart with work and everything, is Jesus and his 12 apostles. Like, he had the 12 dudes that were following around that he was teaching the most, but even within those 12, he had different groups that, like, he had the 3 that were close, that were tight, like they were homies, they had each other's back, they were the ones with him at the garden. Those are the ones that he would count on the most. And so just have different circle, like have the circle of friends, yes, but also, even as you have that closer knit group of circle, maybe not the closest, but even just the people you're surrounding yourself with, again, have the people that are building you up, that encourage you, that want to see you succeed, that maybe when you have a breakthrough, they want to hear about it right away. And so first off, we get we're talking about, okay, surround yourself with the right people. What does that mean? That means, you know, you've got to evaluate your circle, right? Evaluate who you're hanging out with. Evaluate how you feel after you hang out with these people. When you are done hanging out with them, do you feel drained? Do you feel discouraged? Or do you feel encouraged? Do you feel fired up? Like, I know some people, I know Joey is someone that we've had on the podcast and hoping to get him back on here. I feel like he's someone that anytime I talk to him, we both get fired up and jazzed about what's going on, about, you know, what each other's doing. It gets you excited, gets you pumped up. It wants to motivate you. Monday motivation podcast, but no, like, play on words aside, it should motivate you to want to do those things. You know, if you feel like you have to hide your dreams or hide the things you're passionate about with these people you're hanging out with, maybe, just maybe, you need to reevaluate who you're hanging with, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I want people around me that are going to encourage me, help me get to my goal, say, hey, how can I help? So once you've evaluated your circle, really just, I mean, if you've got those people in life, I want to encourage you, reach out to them, let them know. In this season, that's something as I've reflected, that's something I have done a lot of, been able to think about who the people are that are closest to me. And I've just reached out to them and, like, you know, I don't, like, one person, it was just telling them how much I appreciate them, how much I miss them. Another person, it was, you know, talking about memories that we have, like our favorite memories with each other that we have. And let me tell you this too, the people that are closest in your circle may not necessarily be the people you have known the longest. I can speak from experience, and this isn't, I want it to be known, this isn't like me. I'm just going to say this. Some of the people that are closest to me, I've only known for maybe a year or less, or only not much longer than that. I obviously have a couple that I've known for years, and they're right there, and I know I can count on them. But there's a couple people that it's just that friendship clicked, and that's just their heart, and our friendship is just all about encouraging each other. Sometimes that's going to happen. It may not be those people that have been around all the time. They may not be the day ones that, you know, we hear a lot about in different, you know, music industry or streaming industries. Like, oh yeah, the day ones are good to have. Yes. They help you push it on because they know what it's like when it's, you know, when you're getting music industry and you're only getting like 1 to 2 listens maybe, and like half of those are themselves. The day ones are going to be like, hey, you know what? You got this, man. And when you make it, they're going to remember those days and remind you of how far you've come. But have a mix, you know, have a mix of the day ones, have a mix of the people that have been there for you for years and years, that know what it's like when you've been through some tough times, and they can encourage you and be like, remember where you were in this moment. But at the same time, it's also good to have a fresh set of like heart and encouragement in that, because, you know, we all go through different stages. We all build at different times. And as you reach one step and someone hops on and they want to go with you, they're going to remind you of that spot that they met you in. later on down the road, and it's going to help a ton. And so I just want to encourage someone with that this morning. Evaluate your circle. Let your circle know that you appreciate them. Appreciation is key. Encouragement is key. And, just reminisce. I'm using a lot of big words this morning, but reminisce. Reminisce on the good times. Reminisce on the bad times. Remind each other where, if you've known each other for years, or they're the day ones, they're the homies, let them know where, just remind each other, hey, you remember where you were at this time, at this stage in life? Look at you now. So yeah, we've got evaluate your circle. Find your circle. Maybe you don't have those people in life right now. I'm gonna end with this. So we've talked a lot about what if you already have those people, or those people are coming in. What you may be in a spot where you're like, Keagan, I may feel like I'm not in a spot like that. Maybe you feel like I don't have those people around me. And if that's you, one, look at the people you do have around you. Maybe you feel like they're not in your circle, but look at the people that you may be reaching out to and talking to anyway. Start trying to share your dreams with them. Start looking for those people. And I know it's tough in a time like this if you don't have those to be looking for them, and start those new friendships. But I want to encourage you, those people will come. And until they come, continue working on your craft. Continue building your purpose, building your calling. Because I promise you this, as you grow closer into your purpose and grow closer into your calling, people that have similar views, similar passions will start to come into your life. And those are the ones that are going to be most. Maybe that's where you're at. Just use this as a time, if that's you, to focus where you see yourself going in life. That calling, that purpose that we're talking about, right? Where's my passion? Focus on those passions. As you begin to talk with other people about what they're passionate about, what you're passionate about, that's when those connections will be made. So if you feel like you don't have that circle, trust me, you, one, may have people around that you don't realize, or two, I promise you that they will come into your life. You just gotta, I know it's easier said than done, but start continuing working that purpose and that calling. It's going to be worth it. And people start coming into your life. So evaluate your circle, encourage and reminisce with your circle. And if you don't have a circle, you know what? Continue to work on that passion and calling. And they'll start coming. I promise you that. So that's all the time that we've got for the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell. If you want to reach out, have questions, or just reach out and talk about maybe how this has impacted you, or just encourage, again, check out the social media at Monday Motivation Podcast on Instagram. And again, if you're not on Instagram, there's that YouTube. Also Facebook, we go with the Hope Project. They're all about creating just hope, love, vision, creating that for our society today. And so that's all we've got, though. Again, check us out on social media. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning into the Monday Motivation Podcast with Keagan Jewell, where we are coming together one Monday at a time to reach our full potential.